sixth graders, let's go ahead and get this lesson done. I believe this lesson is on 4-4. So the first part says explain how to get the variable alone in each equation. And when you talk about explanations, you want to go ahead and make sure you have a clear understanding of what's happening. So for these particular problems, we're going to write out the stuff. And over here, we want to get y by itself. We know that when we have a number next to a letter, they're being multiplied to each other. We know this because I don't see 8 plus y here. I don't see an 8 minus y. That would indicate addition and subtraction. I don't see an 8 divided by y, and that would go ahead and be indicative of division. So this tells me multiplication is happening here. And now that I know the operation of multiplication, I remember the rule. Whenever I want to bring my number over to the other side, okay, I'm going to use an inverse operation. The inverse means the opposite. So anything that's going to turn this to 1. So I would have to divide 8y by 8, okay, in order to go ahead and get y by itself. So my answer is simply divide both sides by 8. And of course, I'm going to shrink this up a bit because this is ginormous letters here. It's not needed. Let's see here. Oh, give me a little bit of issue here. There we go. Now we're going to go with the small letters here, and I think we're just going to, there we go. So let's go ahead and try number 15, because you have all the even ones tonight. And I have u divided by 8 equals 12. Remember, we're going to do the inverse. So that means the opposite of what I see. I see that u is divided by 8. That means I'm going to multiply this side by 8. All right. So over here, we're going to put multiply both sides by 8. The reason we're multiplying both sides is the rule for equations is whatever I do to one side of an equation, I must remember to do to the other side to keep everything balanced. All right? So that's why they say that we're going to do it to both sides. All right? Number 17 is the next one. It says solve it. Now we're going to put this into action. We see that we're dividing by 2 just like we did over here, which means we're going to multiply by 2. And if I do that, I realize that this is divided by 2, so I'm going to multiply this by 2. Let's see, 2 times d. Let's see here. Well, I guess what I should be saying is, I don't want to write this incorrectly. We have d, and then we have divided by 2, and then multiplied by 2. And we all know that that's going to give us 1 because 2 times 2, right? And then we're dividing it by 2, okay? This is half a d, and then we're multiplying out by 2, we're going to get the same thing. So that means we have to multiply 108 times 2. 108 times 2 is going to give me 216. So d is going to be 216. You see, I did the opposite here, and that got rid of these. And actually, to get rid of it, it turned it into 1, right? So, I mean, you might look at it as me saying 2 times d, which makes 2d, and then dividing it by 2 gives me d again, all right? Now for number 19, again, we have dividing by 3. If we had them next to each other like this one, then we'd know that we'd be dividing by 800 over here, which means we would divide this side by 800. So since I see that we have a lot of this, this is the same type of problem as this one, I'm actually going to do number 20 for you. And that way it shows you how to do one for division and one for multiplication. So over here, I see 3 is being multiplied to x. I'm going to divide 3x by 3. Any number over itself turns to 1. So now I have 1x left over. Whatever I divide from one side of an equation, I divide from the other. Now I have 99 divided by 3. And 99 divided by 3 is going to give me, let's see, well, let's work out the problem so we can go ahead and see how it works. 99 divided by 3 is going to give me a 3, and then a 3 again. So everyone can see that you're going to get 33 as an answer. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and work number 21. I'm going to get back to doing all the odd ones. Lolo typed, and I'm sorry, we got some sample answers over here because there are multiple ways to answer these things. So you can consider 21 and 22 kind of a gimme here. Lolo typed 1,125 words in 15 minutes. Let W represent the number of words typed each minute. If Lolo typed the same number of words each minute, how many words did she type in 1 minute? Well, again, remember she typed 1,125 words, all right, in 15 minutes. So that's like saying 1,125 divided by 15. If I put it in a fraction, it would look like this, okay? And since I'm dividing it by 15, I have to do the opposite, okay? I'm sorry, right now this is going to be equaling W. I need to go ahead and say that if I'm dividing it by 15 over here, I'm going to multiply it by 15 to get rid of this 15, right? So some of the different ways you can answer this is you could say 1,125 divided by 15, right, equals W, because that represents the number of words typed each minute. Or you could say 15W, right, because if I was to multiply 15 to this side, that means I would have to multiply 15 to this side. That would give me 15W. Now, 15 divided by 15, right, is going to give me 1. So that's going to give me 1, and 1 times 1,125 will give me 1,125. And 15 times W will give me 15W. All right. For number 2, I'm going to let you go ahead and word that out yourself, but it's pretty much the same as what we did over there. Number 23. Abel has 3,330 toothpicks, right? That's represented here with the amount of toothpicks. He wants to use them all to make a floor mat with 18 equal rows. All right. We know that there's going to be 18. This is the number of rows here. Okay. And there's going to be 18 of them. Use a bar diagram to write a division equation and then solve the equation to find how many toothpicks Abel used. Well, this tells me that I have 3,330 toothpicks. We're going to equal 18 T's. To solve this, I would divide 18T by 18 because right now 18 is being multiplied to T. That will give me T by itself because 18 divided by 18 is 1. So I have 1 T left over. But whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other side. 3,330 divided by 18 is my problem. We know this because every fraction is a division problem. I know 18 is not going to go into 32 or 33 twice, so it's only going to go in once. I bring down my 0, my 3. I have to borrow 1. 13 minus 8 is 5. And 2 minus 1 is 1. As you can see, 15 is not bigger than 18, so 1 was the correct number to use here. Now, how many times is 18 going to 153? I'm just going to guess here, because 18 is almost 20. that I could take 18 and put it into 15 7 times. All right. So I'm going to try that. I might even be able to do it 8 times. I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna go with 7 times first. And if I did 18 times 7 would be 56, and that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it'd be 126. Well, what if I added 18 more and made it 8? Right? That would be a 4, be a 1, and that would be a 4. And look at that, 144. So it would be 8 and not 7. Okay, we'll make double share here. We're going to multiply 18 by 8. We know 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 plus 6 is 14. My 0 goes over here. This will turn into a 9 because I'll have to borrow 1. This would be a 4, which will go back down to 0. And I have 90. And now I have to think about how many times will 18 go into 90? Well, instantly, I'm going to try 5 just because I know 8 times 5 will give me 40, right? And that will give me a nice 0 there. And bring a 4 up here. And 4 plus 5 is 9. So that works out nicely. So 185 will be my answer. All right, so 185. And since we are talking about toothpicks, it would only be right to say 185 toothpicks. All right, number 24 is yours, which means number 25 is mine. The area of that isosceles triangle is 44 square centimeters. Remember, area means how much space is being occupied inside of this triangle. Use the equation 1/2 8 times h equals 44 to find the height of the triangle. Okay, well, they want us to use this equation, so let's go ahead and do it. First of all, remember I have to do everything the opposite if I'm going to find what h is, okay, and that's what we're doing here. So first of all, I have to find, I can solve this side first. What is 1/2 of 8? Well, 1/2 of times 8 would be 4h. And now I have 4h equals 44. Now I have to remember that 4 is being multiplied to h. In order to get 4 away from it, I have to divide it, doing the opposite of what I see. And whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. 4 divided by 4 is 1, which leaves me h by itself, 1h. And 44 divided by 4 is 11. And that tells me that the height is 11. Centimeters. All right, let's move on to number 20. Let's see now, number 27 says, Chelsea and her 4 sisters spent an equal amount of time cleaning their home. Their parents added their times. They found that each of the 5 girls spent 3 hours cleaning. Okay, let C be the total number of hours the girls spent cleaning. All right, write and solve a division equation. This is key here, a division equation to find the total number of hours that the girls are cleaning. Division means that we're going to have to go ahead and divide. So we know here that there's 5 girls and they spent 3 hours cleaning. On the surface, you would think this is pretty easy. This is 5 girls and each of them spent 3 hours cleaning. So that means that has to equal C, the total number of hours that the girl is cleaning. But this is not a division problem. What we can do is, remember, if I'm multiplying 3 here, to get rid of that, I could divide 3 from it, which means if I divide 3 from that side, I would have to divide it from this side. 3 divided by 3 leaves you with 5 alone over here. So 5 would equal C divided by 3. Okay? And of course, the answer to this, 5 times 3, would be 15. If I solved it, I would simply multiply 3 to this side, right? Which means I would multiply it to this side. And that's what I started out with when I was trying to solve this, how to write the equation, right? 3 times 5 is 15. So I know 15 is equal to C. All right, so now I wrote a division equation and I solved it to find the answer. All right, number 29. A movie theater sells 11,550 tickets for 50 sold out showing, or for 50 sold out showings, okay, of the same movie. Write a division equation. Again, write a division equation that you can use to find the number of people who bought tickets for each show. Use what you know about division with a larger number. Well, this would tell me I'm looking for the number of, let's see, use what you know about dividing with large numbers to solve this equation. We want to find the number of people who bought tickets, okay? So these are the tickets, all right? And we want to find out the number of people who bought the tickets, all right? So let's see, the number, see, a movie theater is selling 11,550 tickets for 50 sold out shows. So let's see, if you sold these out, then you would basically be multiplying these numbers together, right? Well, you might think that, but if you look closely, you're going to realize they're saying that they sold all these tickets for the show. So really, you're talking about taking these number of tickets and dividing it by 50. So a division problem you could write would be 11,550. We're dividing that by 50, okay? And that's going to tell us, that's going to help us to find the number of people who bought tickets for each show, okay? So this equals, I guess, whatever variable we want to use here. We could put P for people. I don't see where it says to use a specific variable, okay? The number of people would be P. So this is a division problem that equals P. All right, that was all of them that I had to do. Good luck with the ones you had to do. I'll see you in class so we can check these out, and have a great night.